Hey everyone, welcome to Kip TV. I am Kip, and we got another scrim, preseason scrim between Blunderful and Reborn, two Platinum Highlander teams. And I am again joined by the superstar soldier Atomsk. Welcome, Atomsk.
Wow. Really hyping me up there. Okay, thank you for having me, Kip, again.
Alright, we are in King of the Hill, Asheville, so I'm hoping to get some King of the Hill tips. Already we see Noko taking down Catfunt and taking down Soap right there. How big are the medics on this opening push for mid?
Generally you expect medics to die in a mid-fight, but both teams are playing pretty passive, so it looks like they're going to stay up.
Do you generally expect to see Noko get 4 kills as Spy in that opening push?
Well, generally you don't expect Spies to get 4 kills, but I did expect Noko to do that, yes.
Noko, a female gamer, am I right?
That's correct, yeah.
Shout out to Noko. Alright, anyway, we're watching right now as Blue is running Uber actually, and they Uber onto the point to clear it off. Your thoughts on Uber on this map?
I'm generally a fan of predominant Uber play. It's just more versatile. A lot of teams sort of favor Kritzkrieg as a general rule, and I don't think that's right. It should be more of like a surprise tactic.
Alright, we're actually seeing that Reborn is running the regular Metagon as well, so countering that Uber with an Uber.
NG versus Sniper, not a battle you see all the time. Over on their battle maps.
Go NG, is what I say. So Reborn takes back the point right here. So while we're waiting a little bit, we can go over rosters. You want to go ahead and take Blunderful?
Sure. On Blunderful side, we got Yumi on Medic, Satan on Pyro, Noko on Spy, Frank on Soldier, Penguin Ninja on Sniper, Fluttergub on Engineer, Squid Frog on Heavy, Toaster on Scout, and Enryu on Demo.
Alright, then over on Red and Reborn, we have Akuma on Sniper, CPL is Soldier, Root is Heavy, Soap is Medic, Image is Scout, Cess is Engineer, Catfunt is Pyro, River God, Tufflesnug is Spy, and Crossfire is a Demo. And Catfunt getting in behind and taking out some people. Both Ubers popped right now, as we have that awkward little dance. Red Uber lasts a little bit longer, but the Demo gets out of the way actually there.
Yeah, they didn't flash it around, so it lasted longer. How can you not be able to say sesquipedalia? It's such a great word.
Nope. Nope.
I thought I'd just put you on the spot there.
I call him Cess. We're buddies, is what I like to say, but no, I've never talked to him.
Soldier hanging underneath with the black box. Not really the best use of his mobility, but whatever.
Underneath as in underneath the point?
Yeah, you don't know the underneath route?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. River God Tufflesnug also down there, so no doubt going after that. Pyro getting him out right there, but the rest of his team comes and supports him. So alright, so right now we're seeing Reborn has about 1 minute left on the point right here. Their positioning as far as defense goes, how do you like it?
It's a pretty good position, actually. They're watching the flank route underneath, and they're watching the point. And I guess they're playing it quite right, actually. They're just passively sitting on Uber and denying the point. There was a point right before the Uber exchange about a minute ago where BFL actually had 2 picks and they had 9 up, and they really needed to engage Uber v Uber in that 97 situation, because right now they have the respawn advantage. Like I explained on Badwater, the attacking team has the faster response. It's the same thing on Koth. Whichever team doesn't have the point is going to have respawn times basically like cut in half.
And that's pretty much a significant part of Koth's strategy, isn't it? Just timing those respawns.
It is. It's a huge part, actually. And what happened there? Because I missed it. Did they get the force out of Soap and then push in with Uber afterward?
Yes, Soap popped early, and then Blunderful came back and took the point with their Uber. So you can see the importance of keeping track of those Uber advantages, obviously. So can you explain more about that timing thing? I know in
so basically, now that BFL has a point, they really need to focus on stopping any amount of dying, even by, well, I mean, their soldier and their spy can die a little bit, but every time they die, it's going to be like 15 seconds that they're out of the fight. And you see now that they managed to pick the pyro and the scout, so they're just choosing to push in because their demo and their pyro are just going to be up really fast. Every kill they get right now is a significant one, and every death they take is not as much.
And of course, then with only about 10 seconds left, it doesn't really matter about their responses. Well, their goal right now for Reborn is just to stay alive.
IFA.R needs to just act because the round is gone either way.
And it does not look like they're going to be able to do so. So first round goes to Reborn. So what did you see out of BFL that didn't work for them right there?
A bit too much passivity. They didn't really act on their advantages. They sort of, like I said, this is another preseason match, so they're probably just feeling out the...
Who do you want to see first at mid right here?
Generally it's going to be the demo, followed by the soldier, or the scout and then the soldier. If they're whipping the mid, soldier might not, get there as fast, but the whole team is going to be there a little faster in general. But,
Blunderful taking 4 kills right there. Sorry, go ahead.
Wow, nice. They should definitely get the point off of that.
And actually, it looks like Blunderful is going to be able to hold this. Reborn did not capitalize on it. They actually lost their medic, too. But as you said...
I guess they're just going to wait for Uber to push in.
And Blue already has their Uber, so Blunderful, we'll see if they decide to go wait or be aggressive with
Looks like they're pushing under with their Uber, trying to get, like on that enemy combo, but they know that they're at a disadvantage, so they're backed all the way out toward their spawn.
Right, so interesting move. Do you see them learning and adapting from the first round, trying to be less passive?
It looks like they're doing a better job. Yeah, they've not let they're still playing kind of passive, but they didn't. They needed to take the point as soon as they pushed the enemy combo off, because now still nobody has time, and then they let Reborn get their Uber too. So they didn't use their advantage to take the point or to kill the enemy medic, which is not really what you want to do.
Not taking advantage of said advantage.
Behind them, no, Heavy spotted him out.
So what is your role as soldier on a King of the Hill?
Generally it's to roam. You want to go in the flank and hold high ground and basically just get picks whenever you can. Big stab on the heavy. So those little roofs are pretty important. Like, you don't want to ever be on the point or under it. If you can, the ideal position is to be in their battlements where the red mini sentry is right now and the dispenser. Just anytime you can get the enemy team looking behind them and like worrying about explosions in the back, your team can push up and do work.
Absolutely makes a lot of sense right there. And we're seeing Blue pushing forward with an Uber right now.
Yeah, getting pretty aggressive even though they already have the point. Sure, they're trying to find out. They get a couple of kills, but now it's demo v demo, and they have Uber disadvantage, which is not the position you want to be in when defending.
Noko actually in on Soap and takes him down. So great pick right there. And they still haven't taken Noko down, and she gets the next up on the demo. Not that heavy. Almost.
And that is why Noko is one of my favorite spies.
She is quickly becoming one of mine, too. So great work right there. How do spies factor in on King of the Hill? Is it kind of just a roaming thing, too, just looking for opportunities? Or, I know it's not your main, but...
Basically, spy is just like the soldier, but who can actually do their job effectively. I mean... Spy's pretty straightforward in the sense of like what they're trying to accomplish. Like, generally most people will say that they want, try and get those key picks like the medic or the heavy or the demo, but really if you can kill anybody, it's super helpful to your team, especially if you can get away with it alive. Just like having a soldier on your battlements, you know, a good team is going to know when the enemy spy is dead and when it's alive. So if you can never be dead because you're really sneaky, they always have to worry about you.
Surprise crits right here coming out from Reborn, clearing off the point before Blunderful was able to take it. Squid went down, so not having that heavy medic and the rest of the team kind of scattered.
Ooh, like no-go stabs the medic again.
Oh, no.
And revolvers down the pyro. Oh,
no,
God.
Wow.
Yeah, she's tied with the medic for points right now, so. Going huge.
Awesome. So Soap is still on the crits, though, even though he went down. So no longer a surprise right there, but, you know, with less than a minute left. I mean, they could have had Uber right there. What do you think of this decision to keep going crits?
I'm sorry, which team went crits? Is
Reborn.
Yeah, that was a good decision, actually, because what happened was that they got in an Uber v Uber situation, and they lost. But they managed, both medics went down, so they just made the decision, alright, we're going to go crits, and we're going to have it, you know, when they're at 80% Uber, so. And since Koth is kind of a small map, you know where the enemy team is going to be. That's kind of why it's so popular in King of the Hill, is because you can always use it. And if you fail, you just back out. They're not really going to be able to chase you into your spawn. I'm not really sure how I feel about holding under the point so deep.
Right, really I was going to ask you about that. What's the purpose there?
They have their crit streak, and they're getting antsy to use it because they don't want to have an Uber popped into it.
Ooh, Soap taking a lot of damage right there. It still doesn't pop that crits. Oh, and the heavy goes down. No-go is in there. Soap again, about half health. Gonna have to do something.
That might be why she's holding, or he's holding really close to underneath, so he can grab that health kit. But now they pop crits, and they do manage to get some kills. But those respawns are gonna come in really quick. You have to get the medic in that situation. Now they're pushing onto the point with Uber uncontested.
Right, so that Uber is probably going to come into a big play right there. Soap again still on the...
They got so many picks that they're just going to be able to sit on it. Now they have like a solid defense.
Blunderful does?
Yeah, and if they're still running crits, it's going to be really hard to take the point in the next 30 seconds because they have an Uber to respond with. Unless like the Spy or somebody else can pick Yummy, they should have this round, really.
Alright, and we're seeing Blunderful hold just the top of this ramp to the underground, not completely committing underground. Oh, here comes the crits!
And drops quite a few people, but, I mean, Uber heavy, 5 seconds left. They might not suffer too much for it. Oh, you can't leave the point. You know that they're gonna flood it or lose, so I don't know why they went under. Like, oh, there's 2 seconds left. Let me grab this health kit.
Well, there we go. They still pull out that win, so it is 1-1.
That it is. Oh, but that was the whole half, I guess. Because...
okay.
The next round's not starting.
Alright, well, still have a few questions about holding in position, so I'll just go ahead and ask you while they ready up, I guess. Oh, well, there we go. So it looks like we are starting again. Remember, it is 1-1. We'll see. Frank is running the disciplinary action. You talked about that before. Do you run it on King of the Hill?
Generally, in King of the Hill, I don't. The disciplinary action, in my opinion, wow, big snipe. It's more useful the further your team has to go at the start of the game. So on a map like Granary or Foundry, it's going to be really useful because you're heavy and you're medic and everyone else they have to run so far. But on King of the Hill, they don't have to go very far. But on top of that, the point doesn't unlock right away. Like, there's like a good amount of time before you can even start capturing. So most teams the combos are going to play pretty passive. Scout in on the medic underneath the point, and the heavy is trying to punch him to death.
Interesting strategy right there. He succeeds.
He succeeds, but not before he gets his med killed. Like, oh goodness. Not sure how I feel about that decision making there.
Meanwhile, Image. Oh wait, no, Image was the scout who went down. But I was watching the CPL cam for a while, and he was doing a great job roaming and just keeping people distracted as Soldier behind. Exactly what you were saying before. So good execution for Soldier right there.
Yeah, a lot of soldiers nowadays are running that black box. I saw him running it at the start, but I guess he's switched off back up to that stock rocket launcher. In on the medic while the heavy is shooting at him, and manages to get the kill. It looks like Reborn are favoring being overly aggressive, and it seems to be working out for them because while they have less players, they do have a full crit spree. And they popped it basically just to ward off the point while they can.
Yeah, but to pop it on the pyro right there.
Crits pyro! It's scary. Don't come over here.
That's why the flog works so well.
Oops, spy on the map? Not quite.
No,
Pocket pyro. And the scout though.
So some good defense of Soap right here going on. Getting his protection fairly well, but we do see Blunderful pushing forward to the point. So if Reborn is being overly aggressive, is Blunderful back on their passive side? Or going back for the passive route?
Yeah, it seems like they're favoring that a little bit more, aside from, Noko, obviously. He's got nothing, the assassin classes can't really be passive, but those classes that have the option, it seems like they're being a little bit passive, yeah. They need to turn the tables here.
Sopa popping that crits underground looks like to save route maybe, but
no, they saw the combo at the top of the ramp, so
tried
to get on them.
There we go. Thank you. You have already proven your worth.
Oh, big stab on the demo man. That's actually a really big pick. It's hard to do. The heavy is basically your meat shield in the push, and the demo is your main DPS dealer and damage per second. And basically, like, the heavy and the scout, they're there to clean up the kills that the demo man, makes opportunities by damaging. So, it's really hard to effectively push without your demo because people can just run from a heavy and they can just kill a scout if you're not going to get one shot by him.
Big pick right there. Akuma taking down Yum, who had an Uber, so that means this crits is going to be uncontested. On the point, it looks like. Yeah, so nobody's coming near that. Reborn doing a good hold right there. What do you think about... I guess they're taking the same positioning they have as always, just kind of holding this top ramp.
Yeah, what they need to do is... they need to have like the scout build, get that Boston Bash around, build far back, and then just suicide everybody onto the enemy medic. Like that's a valid cough tactic because they're all going to respawn really quickly, and if you can get the pop out or kill the medic, and then just wait 6 seconds for your whole team to respawn, and then push in with the Uber that your scout was building, you can just have the point essentially. But that's a really kind of nuanced sixes tactic, and I don't see a lot of Highlander teams, really adapting some of the concepts to transfer over.
Why do you think that is?
Actually, I would say it's because partially at the fault of the invite limit that was around prior. It's just that a lot of people who have the knowledge about that they can bring to bear from the last 5 years of competitive TF2, they're not allowed to play or they're discouraged from playing. So Highlander players have had to learn from scratch. But I think that this season, watching the Syndicate and Gorgeous Gamers and MTS, a lot of teams are going to start learning this stuff because these concepts are going to be brought into Highlander format. I would be surprised if you didn't see Gorgeous Gamers and MTS do something like that in their Lakeside games, where maybe they've just had Uber disadvantage, and they just lost the point. And so what they do is they just have one person build with the medic, and they send a 7-man suicide out to try and force an Uber.
Alright, interesting. Thank you, I will look for that now. I won't be like, what are they doing? They're all dying. It looks like they're dying on purpose. Anyway. So we're seeing Blunderful actually maintaining a pretty strong hold right here. They were again holding underneath the point with that Uber, and as soon as Reborn came up, they popped that Uber and were able to get them.
It's really a funny thing about KOF. You see teams learning what they should be doing when they have no choice. And by that I mean, I'm going to explain. If they lose the point now, they lose. They lose the round because there's only 20 seconds left. So they're playing in a way that, you know, is very aggressive and trying to get the medic over and over again, and basically playing the way they should have the whole round because they have no choice. And if they're good, they're going to learn that, oh, we should have been doing this from the start.
Oh, okay. So we'll see how that plays into the next round. Right now they are coming onto the point, but oh no, go backstab Satan. I mean, Soap right there.
She is just on top of it today.
Yeah, great, great work. And probably gonna be all she wrote then for Reborn's push. I can't believe Blunderful came back from 3 minutes. Yeah. I mean, definitely not unheard of, but definitely a hard thing to do.
Absolutely it is. Demo's kind of overextended on blue. They actually have a chance to take this back.
Yeah.
It's going to be one big DM fight because neither they have even Ubers basically.
Here comes Soldier bombing in. Frank trying to take out Soap right there. Yeah. Soap really hurt. Just a sneeze would take him down, but nobody on Blunderful was able to capitalize on it. And the rest of Red has to fall back. This may be it then.
No, they have to get aggressive right now in BFL. They have to do what was just done to them because they have the respawn advantage. But here comes the crit streak, which is going to make that a little bit difficult.
Here we go now, everybody.
Touch the point.
Everybody piling in. This will be the cap. There we go. Wow. Really close there.
Oh, and they pop Uber at the last second.
Oh,
just for good measure.
And then you taunt. That's how I do it usually.
That's how TF2 goes. Watching the red roll out here. It doesn't look like they're using the whip. I'm guessing that we're gonna find a fast action on the soldier trying to get aggressive. Or he's just AFK. I don't know. It's just not at the mid fight.
Crossfire going down immediately right there, so Demo down, big pick then for that mid fight, so not having that big damage.
BFL should just get on the point right now, because Demo is basically the only thing. What I missed.
CPL came in from behind, took down Yum. He was just lurking. I can't believe no one saw him there on top of the roof. But yeah, so Yum down. Oh, Soap actually going down. Toaster taking him down, so Ubers will be even there.
That's unfortunate. Heavy and Demo are basically your anti-air classes, and their Demo went down, and their Heavy didn't have a good angle on that soldier. I didn't see that their Demo had gone down too. It's really easy to just put stickies on a roof and deny a soldier that, but their Demo was down, so CPL was able to get in and do work there.
Now, mini sentries do a pretty good job defending the air as well.
Well, yeah, that's true. Sentries do everything pretty well. They have the auto aim.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. But of course, you know, such low health easily can easily taken down right there. Anyway, though, Blunderful doing a good job holding on to the point in this first minute. We'll see how Reborn decides to come back. See a wrangled mini sentry. Gotta love that. Wrangled mini sentries. I love them on King of the Hill. Are they used? Well, I guess we just saw them used, and I'm continuing to see them used. So, legit strat in Platinum. I'm seeing. Actually, Cess is down here defending the ground beneath the point right here, and actually managed to.
A lot of big kills just went down. CPL was on top of the combo. I think Reborn is actually adjusting quite well to the, you know, the style where you just hold in that little house in front of the ramp, you know, next to the point, and I don't know if you saw CPL just crater.
Oh, God.
But before, he was just hanging out on the house above them and just raining rockets down whenever they showed, so they couldn't even peek to stop the point, and they just slowly bled out.
In comes the crits from Frostfire, gets 3 Ks right there, but not going to be able to stop that cap. Blue came in with an Uber, and the crits waited just long enough. However,
those respawn like times are going to take effect now. 15 seconds. That's an eternity to wait when you're actually in a match. It feels so bad.
Absolutely. So, Reborn taking the point right there. And now they're going to push forward. Are you seeing their aggression continue in these, I guess?
Oh yeah, I mean the Scout, Spy, and Soldier are on their sniper battlements right now. The Heavy was there, so they had to run, but they're looking for picks. They're trying to get it done.
And just real quick check on the scores. Actually, Squid is in first for Blunderful, and then Satan right behind him as Pyro. So interesting not seeing the medic up there. How much do you guys read into points while you're playing match?
No, the points don't matter when you're playing.
So it's like whose line's it anyway?
Yeah, points could be from anything. It's all arbitrary. That's why we're called bonus points, because the joke is that Pud just gets all his points from extinguishes.
That's nice. Awesome. So Reborn continuing to hold the point right here. They don't have the strongest hold as we've seen previously, and Blunderful actually coming in from underneath to challenge that hold on the ramp right there. Soap actually popping crits right there to defend underneath, and then looks like Uber coming back right there. So of course Uber versus crits not going to happen. So this battle under the points, is that a battle worth fighting?
Apparently if they're willing to fight you there, but they should just be content to spam you out. I don't... This is not really the way I would play this map.
Well, that's what we're doing. We're critical thinking critically about this.
Yeah.
And of course, remember, it is preseason, so this isn't, I don't know, how would you say it? It's preseason, so what are they doing here? Just experimenting? Just
this is the learning opportunity. This is when you figure out what works and what's going to get you killed in the actual match.
Now, even with teams as experienced as Blunderful, they're still
Wrangler
learning.
versus Wrangler. Cross map. Those are skill battles right there.
They are. Really is hard. Anyway, Reborn. Nope, here comes No-Go trying to hold off the point. She's going to a little bit. She's engaged in that wrangle battle though, and gets caught midstream.
No, she's dead rings out.
Oh.
And now she's just sort of hanging out by the point, wanting a high five.
All right, so now we are tied up all 2-2, right?
Yeah, looks like it. 2-2.
So I don't know what they're playing to, but we continue our expert analysis. Right now, just me trying to understand.
You were saying a team as experienced as Wonderful.
So, do you guys do the same thing in preseason? Just kind of you're still learning tactics, experimenting?
I still do that in intermediate in the SDA. So
okay.
Yeah, definitely. In Platinum UGC Highlander is a varied mix of skill levels. So.
All right.
Yeah, like we're at the quote-unquote top right now, but that doesn't mean there's no room for improvement because Highlander is so young.
Right, and teams are constantly adapting, especially when you see the more invite players coming in, as you mentioned before. The strats are going to change, and you have to adapt, or you're going to fall last place.
Yeah, like in my opinion, right now is the first real opportunity for the meta of Highlander to evolve, because basically people were playing with the constraint that you were only allowed to play with 3 very skilled, very experienced players. And that doesn't really make for good theory crafting, and it doesn't help you understand the game because it doesn't let any teams play at their full potential. So it sort of constraints like the community, like who we can watch to get like, oh, look at them. How did they get so good? Like, what did they do so right? But that wasn't really happening at its full potential. So it's, as a spectator, like, you don't have the best source to learn from. Does that sort of make sense?
Yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense. Now, what is the metagame? I've asked so many people about it, and everybody has a different answer.
Okay.
So, what is metagame for Platinum UTC Highlander? Or what is metagame for Atomsk?
Metagame is basically just the standard. It's like the way most people will play. Like, metagame a season or two ago for King of the Hill was to run grid screen almost all the time. It's basically just like the... Okay, the meta for 6v6 is 2 scouts, 2 soldiers, a demo, and a medic, because it offers the greatest mix of power and mobility. That's why people don't run 2 heavies to mid, because they just don't get there in time. It's what is considered by the community as the highest standard of play. So right now the metagame in Highlander is, you know, like scattergun scout, gunboat soldier, degreaser pyro. You know, it's like the equipment and tactics that are the most effective. And that changes because people experiment in their, you know, in the non-matches, and they figure out like new ways to do things. And also because the game, it gets balanced. Like, you know, the gloves of running urgently have been changed pretty dramatically, and so you see a lot of heavies favoring the fifths of running steel now in certain situations or maps. And it's basically, you know, like a question of, does the metagame evolve like properly when you put arbitrary restrictions on who can play and who can't? And the answer is no. I mean, that's my opinion, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right.
Okay, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how opinions work too. So then, most of Platinum was happy to see that invite level, or invite cap lifted.
The problem is that a lot of people are just slumming it. Like, there are invites in steel and silver, which is not really appropriate. But that happens in ESEA too. And it happens in other games, like StarCraft. People have their Smurf accounts and they work their way up from gold, even though they're Grandmasters.
We're seeing another...
Yeah, another push underneath. And they've got to be really wary of these crit stickies so that you don't get anything.
Looks like you're gonna retreat, maybe?
No, they're just content to just hold underneath. That health back is really vital. The key to winning a TF2 round is to maintain control of the health backs.
Ooh, CPL getting in on Yum, but not able to take him out. Oops.
Actually, Yummy is a girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She tried out for bonus, but decided she wanted to just play backup for BFO.
Okay.
She's not their main med, I don't think.
Alright. Any other girls playing now, before I use more improper pronouns?
That I know of? No. It's just Yummy and No-Go, I think.
Alright. We're gonna have a discussion about girls in Platinum later, I think. I think it's a very interesting state of female gamers in TF2, but right now we are ticking down on time. We haven't paid a ton of attention to this round because it's kind of been back and forth and a couple, other than a couple crits.
BFL is in a terrific position right now. They have full Uber advantage and 10 seconds left on the clock, but they're still guarding underneath. They just let the enemy team on the point for no reason.
Well, here they come. Yeah, they're gonna put up this defense now, and of course in overtime though. I'm
surprised that Yummy didn't pop with 5 seconds left and her heavy and demo Girardi. There's really no reason not to. But
well, works out for them, and
looks like they have one more round.
Yeah, it looks like we're probably going till 5. Or at least one more round, maybe time limit? No, there's no time limit on the map.
That's anyway. An STV thing. It just won't tell you the time.
Oh, right.
It's currently 3-1 for Blunderful.
Isn't it 3-2?
You're right. It is 3-2. First half was 1-1. So,
alright, then.
Yeah, Reborn needs to take this round in order to tie it up before the time limit goes out.
Then what kind of tactic would, if you were on Reborn right now, what kind of plays would you be calling?
Well, pop crits when you get it. That's a good strat. They need to take the point, and then they basically just need to play smart, and play to the mechanics of the format. You know,
so
abuse those spawn advantages. No go decloaking in the tall grass. Doesn't manage to get anything.
So then, should Reborn play a little less aggressively?
I would just say play aggressively when you don't have the point. It's really the simple way to understand Koth. Like, when you have the point, there's nothing else to be gotten. There's no advantage to be, you know. I mean, you can pick the medic, but they're just gonna come after your medic. It's better to just keep your medic alive and get more time on the point. Because if you start dying, they're gonna be able to take the point just with the power of respawn advantages.
Alright.
So now Reborn has lost a few people, and they're just gonna Uber in because, I mean, look at that. Look at the spawn time differences. 2 seconds left for, you know, what Blunderful lost, and 14 over on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. A good push right there from Blunderful, taking advantage of
this is why Uber is really useful for King of the Hill, because the other team has to be aggressive, and you just basically have to stay passive. Like, there's no more territory to be gained, really. There's just time on the point, so you want to be in that position where, sure, you can come attack us, but we have the point, and we have an invincibility option, so what's it going to be?
Yeah, and Soap's still in the crits right there, so, would you recommend then at this point, crits isn't working, go back to Uber?
You know, it's a scrim, so if they want to make it work, if they want to practice using it, then they can go ahead and do so. Like,
alright, fair enough.
That might be the purpose, but, you know, Blunderful, just now, they lost about 5 people, and they've got that bad respawn advantage, so what they should have done was just, because they lost the point anyway, you saw that, right? So what they should have done, they should have just backed out, let them have the point, let their team get up with fast respawns, and then just re-push it with Uber, because they had full Uber. So.
Here come the crits. Soap popped on Frostfire, but Frostfire taken down immediately, and Soap dying there as well.
Yeah, he got extinguished. I guess he was flanked by Satan.
And Penguin Ninja getting a nice headshot there on Akuma. We haven't talked too much about snipers, but snipers on King of the Hill. Is this map as good as Lakeside for snipers?
It's probably not as good. Lakeside is a little better, I would think, but this is a very good sniper map. Most Koth maps are pretty excellent for sniper. It's just, you know, the world is your playground for aiming. You get awesome sniper lanes. It's a little worse because it's hard to transfer from left to right, I think, on this map than like Viaduct or Lakeside. But it's still, like, ridiculous that you can see clear cross map. Cover the point and their sniper perch and both roofs.
So sniper's OP is what you're trying to say?
No, I would say that you just need to prioritize the sniper as scout soldier, because it's really easy to get over on them. The cross distance is really short. Like, it's really easy to jump on the sniper from the flank side. Just jump over the house and then you're on him. Whereas on Lakeside, it's really, really, really far for a soldier to jump. And there's going to be a heavy and a sentry shooting at you to try and keep you off their sniper.
So it looked like for a second, Blunderful was going to be in another good position. They had an Uber, but Yummy went down right there. And they are losing the point right now. And again, those spawns, but actually everybody up right now, so we'll see if they can get in here and defend. Not going to be able to, and Reborn takes the point again. Of course, they have another minute and 30 seconds to hold it for before this round is over.
Yeah, and they captured the point, and then everyone on it just immediately died. They're heavy sniper and scout, so they should, Blunderful should get aggressive right now on the combo.
Right now they got to deal with a wrangled mini sentry gun on the roof, and Sess is just being annoying as hell. Great NG though.
Look at the soldier, just sort of, I'm gonna cap the point. it doesn't work that way.
So Yummy right now about 75% holding underground again.
The CPL has definitely learned how this map is supposed to work. He's basically forced the combo. Like, oh, he backed up right as they came out. He was above them for so long, and then he just left at the perfect moment to let them escape.
I think they did have crits. Oh wait, no, they have an Uber. Almost ready to go.
Blunderful is just saying, we had a minute and a half. Let's get an Uber, and then let's just win.
Sounds like a plan. Yummy did a good job escaping right there. Oh, just pills coming in right in front of her, and she does pop to escape that.
Very nice.
They're going to clear out bottom again. There's only a Pyro there. Actually, combo does come in. So Heavy is still alive. Medic's still alive. Charging up that crits area about 90%. They're going to get that just in time.
They need to get on the point in 10 seconds.
Yeah, here goes NG to save the day. Gonna be able to hold it a little bit longer, but oh! Crits is popped. Crossfire coming in and getting Satan down. Is that going to clear up the point? It is. So Reborn, that crit's coming through right there.
Wow.
All right, so it looks like this is probably going to be the last round.
Yeah, well, it has to be. It's played to 4, and it's 3-3, so it's really close.
Well,
so
it is...
what I would have done as Blunderful there is instead of pursuing them under, where it's really easy to escape, they should have just pushed across the point. With their Uber, just pushed straight across and blocked it off, and basically it wouldn't have mattered. Like, they would have been trapped underground and unable to access the point. See, the heavy, you know, the medic and demo heavy combo shouldn't really be on the point capping it. They should be pushed past it, keeping the enemy away from, like, your scout and spy or whatever on the point. But they're basically using their Ubers to be like, we're getting on the point. Prepare to spam us when it runs out.
Interesting.
It's just something that you take from like 5 CP maps. You want your demo and your heavy and your soldier. You want them on the doors so that, like, you know, a scout cap is fine because it doesn't cap really much faster from having 6 people on it than like 2 or 3. It's going to be a long cap time, so you may as well just lock the enemy team out while you cap and while they're mostly dead.
Are those capping times something that Platinum players like have memorized and like, all right, we gotta do this and they'll take 3.6 seconds and blah blah?
No, not at all.
Okay. Is that something?
The only thing that Platinum players know is that 3 on the cart is the ideal number.
Yeah, alright.
That's the
I think
mantra.
Steel players know that too, so I guess that's good.
I think it's interesting that Reborn is favoring the level 3 sentry this time.
I saw that, yeah.
They're basically saying, our engine isn't going to have, you know, cross-map aggression, but you're never going to be able to get on top of our combo as we hold down here.
It's also saying that Frank must be doing a good job because they see him as that much of a threat to get there. And actually, use of Toaster has been up in the Inji's grill all day, so that's probably part of it too. And Reborn comes back and takes the point for the first time this round. Now we've seen
point and Uber advantage, but are they on crit streak still? Yeah, so they had to get aggressive on it. This is how you should be using the crit streak. I mean, they didn't find the right area, but they are deep in the enemy point. They're not like sitting on their crits. They're trying to use it, get the medic down.
Right, and actually, oh, Rout's gonna go down right there. And
they need to give up the point right now and stop dying because they just need to let the other team have the point so that they can have the Uber advantage, or get the respawn advantage.
Level 3 Center Gun going down right there. Seth's not able to keep it up.
Well, he's got the level 3 dispenser, so it
right,
shouldn't be too long.
Dispensers picks is what you gotta do.
Dispenser picks, critical.
They are. People joke about it, but I'm pretty sure dispensers make or break a team.
I love dispensers, but I don't think they're quite that important. Noko getting a bicycle stab on the enemy sniper and then getting in a revolver duel and winning, and now she's fighting the engineer. It takes him down too. What?
Oh, I was not on the right cam there, but yeah, she's been favoring that bicycle.
And then saps the dispenser and the sentry, and the scout comes in to finish it off, teleported too. And she gets out with Dead Ringer, and she did not die. She's not done yet.
She's got 8 health now, just replenishing. So yeah, she's definitely still on a mission.
I
Meanwhile,
actually lost her. That's how good of a spy she is. I have the camera, I have the control, and she still lost me.
that's great. Oh, here we see both Ubers popped. Actually, Reborn going back to the regular Metagun and trying to repel Blunderful as best they can to get control.
This is the situation you want to be in on defense, because that's what I was talking about with that Uber on defense. Because look what happened. They just traded Ubers, and then Blunderful can back up and say, all right, now we're both not invincible. I can use cover, and you have to expose yourself to the point if you want to cap. And then, you know, Reborn knew that, so they backed up. They knew they were going to die. They just stood around at the point post-Uber.
So then what are they doing right here? They backed up and then pushed forward again?
Yeah, that was a good read. They were like, all right, our Uber was ineffective. Let's back up and see if we can get frags and take our respawn advantage. And that's exactly what happened. Both teams had about 3 frags, and Reborn's players just got up sooner, and they brought the pressure down to bear.
Alright, well, we'll see if Reborn can pull out something else. Just now popping the Uber as they come from underground, taking down Sane and Squid. And again, they are in possession of the point, so they're going to push a little bit forward and then fall back immediately.
Yeah, that's another thing, like that, you know, that looks like a good Uber. They got some kills, but, I mean, what did that really buy them? Like, it bought them 60% Uber disadvantage, and now Yummy is just going to push in here, like with Uber, take the point. Because those kills, you know, they just came back, like in 6 seconds.
Crossfire did get a bit aggressive, and he went into enemy territory there,
but
retreated.
Big. Oh, I thought I saw Yummy go down. No.
Stop hallucinating.
No, it was the other way around. It was Frank on Soap. He got a big thing there.
There we go. But actually, Yummy being chased down right now by River God. Double Snug. Let's see if he can't finish Yummy off. Yummy's got that Uber, so probably will pop it before she dies. But River God is not done with her. Finally, forces the pop right there, so really nice action from the Red Spy.
Yeah, and that's why it's, you know, it's not always the best thing for the soldier to get aggressive. Like, you saw him bomb the medic, but they already had advantage, so he died, and, I mean, what did that do for them? It made it so that the enemy team could get in on their medic and take their advantage, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a situation where you just want to hold and keep people from getting at your medic before. It's more advantageous, basically, to preserve your medic than to take theirs if your medic already has advantage.
I do not understand Noka's strategy, but obviously I'm not going to question it. But she just ran to the point undisguised and started with her revolver. But she's still alive, probably behind their lines. I'm probably going to get a big pick, but I need to get her on this casting with me to explain everything about spies.
Yeah, I've actually got her lined up to do an episode of TF2 Lessons with me, which is basically like a thing where we watch high-level demos and, you know, try and explain the decision making so we can be like awesome invite/platinum players.
Alright, well, we're in overtime right now for Blunderful. They just have to protect this point, and with Satan on the point, oh no, Satan goes down right there. Here comes Blue Uber, though. They'll be able to just plant on this and be able to defend it. Pretty much gonna take this round. Just a little bit left time for Reborn. Here comes a Soldier, actually. CPL getting on there in time. Root getting on there in time, but not enough. So Blunderful takes it.
Wow, very exciting and fun match, even though it was just a scrim.
Fun scrim. Any final thoughts? Oh.
Yeah, something that some people might not know about King of the Hill. In overtime, you can actually make it go faster if you stand on the point. So
make the triangle or whatever time on enemy time go down slower, you mean? Yeah. Or faster?
No, go down faster, yeah. If you stack that point.
Alright.
I saw everyone sort of like scattering out, and it was just Noko standing on the point at some point, and I was like, no, you stack it! You stack the point when it's overtime. Alright. Well, that was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me again, Kip.
Yep. thanks so much. I'm definitely gonna be able to bring a little bit more to my XTV casts.
I know that's a lot of information to take in, but hopefully...
Don't worry, even if I remember 20% of it, it'll be more than I knew yesterday. So thank you so much for joining me, Adamus. Any shout-outs or anything you want to pub?
No, that's okay. If you want to just put a link to my channel in your description, and I'll do the same.
All right, will do. All right, well, thanks so much for joining me, guys. If you have a match you want to see cast, definitely email me at flaffle1066@yahoo.com. That's about it. So thanks so much for joining us. Have a good day.
See you guys.